Hey everyone, welcome back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy Veltri, and on this channel we do DIYs, wood signs, and there's always tons of laughter. We are moving out of Christmas DIYs and we are going to be starting to get into regular home decor, Valentine's Day, and spring. So I hope you guys enjoy this video because it is going to be a wrap up of last year's kind of Valentine's, shabby chic, romantic decor. So let's get right into the video. For this one, this is one of the wood hearts from Dollar Tree. I know that they're carrying them this year. This was stained from last year and I never used it. And then I'm taking this fabric puff paint. You could get puff paint at Dollar Tree actually. And I'm gonna make these swirls all around this heart. Now, if you've been with me since last year, I actually did this on Easter eggs and they were absolutely gorgeous. So I'm not gonna make you watch me put this on the entire heart, but I will put it on the entire heart. And then after it dries, I'm going to take our blush pink by Rust-Oleum and I am going to completely cover it. And if you guys are like, you did all of that and then you're just going to cover it up, you'll see, we'll bring it back out. Don't you worry. So I do a thin coat of that, only one coat. Now I'm taking my antique wax and y'all, I am putting the lightest amount on my chip brush, the lightest amount. You could see I'm dipping in the lid and then I dip over to the side and kind of take the excess off and you can see it brings out all of that detail all over again. It's stunning. This is a great way to put designs on a flat surface. So I let that dry up and then you guys know accessorize time. So I'm going to grab this lace. This is actually like a stretchy lace. I used to use it for baby headbands. And I'm going to pull that tight. This spatula is from the makeup section at Dollar Tree. It's just like a silicone spatula. So I'm going to pull that and then I am going to hot glue Momo. Pull that tight, cut the excess of the lace off. And then we are going to wrap it, sorry, I'm distracted. I have a little boy sleeping next to me and then the dog trying to lick him and I'm just like, gosh. All right, so now costume jewelry, once again, I'm taking part of this pearl necklace. I'm going to attach the center bead first. That way I could just lift up the right and left side and put a bead of hot glue straight across and just place it down. Now let me say, if you guys are using like the pearls from Dollar Tree, put it on a string first instead of trying to place them one by one, and it will save you so much time. So I'm going to hot glue this other side down. Now I'm taking like this little triangle piece of lace and I am going to cut it up to the top. I don't cut it all the way off. I just cut it up to the top, leave about like, half an inch up there. And then I group it together and almost basically make it like a tassel. That's basically what I did, except I didn't cut it strand by strand. So I'm going to tie that off and then I'm going to hot glue it on my left side. Right there, easy peasy. And then I'm going to add some flowers. And you guys, if like the shabby chic colors aren't your thing, like you can completely turn these into like traditional colors, like a red heart with a white piece of lace. I mean, options are really, really endless when it comes to this kind of decor. I just like it because the pinks, the florals, all of this transitions so well into spring, so I don't have to take it all down when that time comes. So then I adorn it with some of these little rhinestones here. I just felt like the lace needed something because it was so wide. And then I'm going to put the twine back through. These are the bigger pearls from Dollar Tree. And what is amazing is that this twine has like that hard plastic at the end. So it made it so easy to strand these pearls. So you guys, that is it for this one. I just finished. If you see on the left, I left a little bit of room so that the pearls weren't sitting on top of the heart, but rather like above it. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. And this is what it looks like. I love it. It's already hanging on my hall tree right when you walk into the front door. I love how it turned out. I love all of that texture. It's so feminine and beautiful. Absolutely love it.
You guys, some ceramic, I want to say like plates, frames. I don't know what they are, but they look handmade. Got them from Goodwill. I shellacked them, then painted them with some white primer. And now I'm going in with Blush Pink by Rust-Oleum. I'm also going to be using Serenity Blue and Chiffon, all by Rust-Oleum, all in my Amazon store link down below. And I give each of these 2 coats of paint. Now, once I'm done, I'm going to take some clear wax by Waverly. I'm going to put a light, and I mean light coat on it, you guys. And I am then going to take this mica powder. And I've had this mica powder forever. Y'all, I don't know what I'm doing. I am just playing around with this here. And I get a paintbrush and it's dry. And I just get that powder and I start rubbing it over the clear wax. In my mind, I felt like it gave it something to adhere to. However, you do not need the clear wax to use the mica powder. So I'm going to show you a different frame. You could see on the turquoise one, look at this on the right, like putting the mica powder on and this like beautiful pearl look it gives to these frames. It just adds just like that romantic touch it needs. It gives it more definition as well. And then I'm going to take these graphics that I got off graphicfairy.com, absolutely free to print these out, and then I resize them on canva.com. I apply some Mod Podge to the back of the print and then go ahead and smooth it onto my frame. I don't put any Mod Podge over the top. I didn't want it to have a glossy look. I wanted it to be very, you know, kind of rustic, shabby. And I chose these images because they really look just romantic to me. And I was really loving the little bit of turquoise in some of them to pull that Serenity Blue in with our other projects. So again, we're just applying that Mod Podge to the back. And look at how beautiful these prints are. And can you believe they're free? You don't have to enter an email, nothing like that. Just absolutely free. I'll link it down below with all the other links for today's video. All right, next I'm grabbing some of these paper flowers. One of my subscribers sent me. Thank you so very much. I finally get to use them. And they're just like a bunch of like small roses, medium-sized roses. They're so delicate and beautiful. So I'm just gonna have fun with these frames and decorate them with some of these florals. I'm also going to add some pearls and little rhinestones to them. I mean, this is where you just let your imagination go wild and add lace if you want. I mean, buttons, so many options here. And you guys, I am really shocked with how pretty these turned out. Look at this arrangement. Now you could put like maybe hang them from lace and do like a collage, or you could put a sawtooth hanger on the back and just hang them up, or you can just prop them up in a shelf. But gosh, these look stunning, and that mica powder on them is just everything. Let me know what you think down below of these. All right, my friends. So we're going to start off with 2 of the planters from Dollar Tree. This antique Mod Podge. Yeah, antique Mod Podge. I didn't know what it was either. Plaid sent it to me and I was like, let's try this out. So when you see me pour the Mod Podge in, you could see it's a cream color and not that white color. So I have seen this paper towel method used before, but I most recently saw it used on Our Upcycled Life with Deidre. And I was like, you know what? This is a great opportunity to try this out since I'm doing this shabby chic look. So essentially, all you have to do is submerge your paper towel into the Mod Podge and then use your fingers to just kind of take the excess off. You don't want it like drowning in it, but you do want it definitely saturated in the Mod Podge. Don't ask why I'm not wearing gloves, you guys. I just, I'm messy. It is what it is. So as you can see, I'm smoothing it out but I'm not trying to get like every single wrinkle. I'm just trying to get any air bubbles out. I personally love the texture and the wrinkles, so I'm all for it. And you're going to continue, and you could like do layer upon layer depending on how much depth you want to add to your piece. And I'm going to continue to do this on a second one. This is like the shorter, wider version. And then I just took the twine off of the top of these. And y'all, spring is already going to be here before we know it, and they're going to be selling these again. So definitely jump on them. So I do the same thing. I only have to do, I think, like 1.5 paper towels on this one because I have like the rolls of paper towels that are like half the sheet of paper towels. You picking up what I'm putting down? So I go ahead and finish this. I let it dry and then, or sorry, I don't let it dry. I set it to the side. Then I get this lace fabric. You guys have asked me many times where I got this. It is from Joann's, but I did get it like a million years ago. So I don't know what it's called, and I don't know if it's still there. But as you can see, while that paper towel is still wet, I am taking this lace, I'm just going to say like applique, and I'm putting it over. And then I'm taking the Mod Podge and I am kind of stippling it on anywhere that had lace. That way it is adhered to the paper towels and everything is going to dry together. So you can see anywhere it had lace, I like in between like the petals of the flowers, I tried to get very well. And I will say having the paper towels be wet instead of waiting for them to dry, which I thought was what I was going to do, made it a lot easier because then the lace didn't move around on me. It kind of adhered to the wet paper towel and just made it so much easier to work with. Now, y'all, I finally saw this dry, and at first I thought it was going to stay this like creamy color, but it actually dries down to be like, it says like antiqued. Like it looks like a brownish yellow, almost gold when you see it in person. And I personally think it's beautiful. You guys have to let me know what you think after seeing this final reveal and if you are going to be tempted to try it. So look it, this is how they came out. I personally think they're stunning. I love the antiqued look. Even the paper towel itself looks like it is lace wrapped around these planters. So let me know down in the comments if this is something you're going to try out. Okay, so we are going to start with a Dollar Tree sign, framed sign, Dollar Tree wood heart cutout, and we are going to take this bad boy apart. Now, I knew I couldn't paint the like little MDF part that came out of the frame because it was too messed up. So I decided to grab some scrapbook paper I got from Michael's last year. I'm going to trace out that inside piece, cut out my scrapbook paper. Again, I got this at Michael's last year. Hopefully they have the same thing. And then because I am going to be adhering something heavy to this, I definitely wanted to attach the paper using Mod Podge versus like a glue stick or a hot glue gun because I wanted to make sure it did not peel off. So now I'm taking my Mod Podge squishy, and this thing is amazing. I'm going to show you right now like how it pushes all of that Mod Podge to the top, which would usually cause the bubbles. It's amazing. So now I'm going to take, you guys, this doily is amazing. My subscriber that I've said sent me like the previous ones, this was also in the box. Now, I didn't know how to attach this to my sign. So I was like, you know what? Let's try some Mod Podge. So I put a nice, not a thin, it was a healthy coat, but I made sure to make sure it was like evenly coated. Then I pressed that doily into it, and it was a very thin doily. And you guys, after this dried, it was attached. It was not going anywhere. So then next I'm going to take my wood heart cut out. You guys know what I'm saying. And I am going to paint that the blush pink by Rust-Oleum. This is in my Amazon store link. You could also find Rust-Oleum products at your local Walmarts. All right, so now you guys, I'm always like, oh, this is gonna be like such an easy DIY. And then I start being extra like this. And this took some time, okay? So grab your cup of coffee, put on some YouTube while you're doing this because it took me forever. Okay? But we're going to put a bunch of different size pearls. These are from Dollar Tree, some from my costume jewelry. And then the little holes that were there were driving me crazy. So I got more of my costume jewelry. There were like these clear little like crystal pieces that came from a broken necklace. And I just put a little hot glue, dropped them in the holes, and oh my gosh, look at this. I wish you could see how sparkly it is, but whew. Okay, now I popped it back in the frame just so I can see the placement. I'm going to take hot glue and I'm going to cover the back, put a nice healthy coat, stick it right in the middle. Now, I did take this frame outside and spray paint it with like a cream color, but since it's freezing in Kansas and freezing in my basement, because there's no air down here, I had to paint over it because it was like sticky. So I got my chiffon paint, I did a coat, then taking my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree, I distressed the outside edges and the inside edges. I just sprayed it with some clear matte spray paint by Rust-Oleum. And then we move on to just popping our like heart piece back in there. It already has a hanger for you. And you guys, this is probably my favorite piece I've made out of all the Valentine's Day one. It's just stunning. Like, look at this. Oh my gosh. And if you see it in person, like the sparkles that come off it, that heart doily, like it is absolutely the most stunning thing that I've made. And let me know what you think about this piece.
Hey you guys, I hope that you guys are enjoying this video. Like I mentioned in last week's video, I am using a little bit of recycled content right now just so I could catch up on organizing my craft room, but I hope it's inspiring you and getting you into the spirit. I know not everybody decorates for Valentine's Day, and that's why a lot of my DIYs are more like a romantic, shabby chic. It doesn't have to be just Valentine's Day. And they could also easily transition into spring decor depending on what colors that you choose. So I hope that you guys are getting excited about shifting gears a little bit. I am definitely excited for it to be warmer and get into spring, even though we just hit winter, but that's another story for another day. Okay, you guys, so you all know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the content, if you are digging the DIYs, then make sure you like and make sure you comment. It's an absolutely free way that you can help my channel out. It lets YouTube know you're enjoying the content and they're more likely to share it with other people. I want to say that I appreciate you guys so very much, and I hope you enjoy the video. And we got a new one coming on January 7th, which is going to be hopefully a good playlist of other creators joining me for some brand new, fresh, romantic DIYs. So you guys, let's go ahead and hop into the rest of this video.
So for these little cuties, you guys check this out real quick. You guys know Dollar Tree stuff, taking paper off is not that easy, but it was with these. I got these last year at Dollar Tree. Don't know if they have them again this year. And you know what? The backs of these weren't even ugly. I don't know why I felt the need to cover them with paper. Maybe it's just creature of habit thing, but I did cover the backs with paper as I usually do, but you don't have to if you could get the paper off like nice and clean. But y'all know I love a finished product. So I went ahead and did this and then got my craft knife. We're going to cut them out. There we go. Back is covered. And next I am going to paint the edges with chiffon. They were a bright white, which really wasn't my vibe. And I really wish I would have done this before I stuck the paper on the back, because then paint got on the paper, but it is what it is. All right, so after those dry, I'm gonna get some scrapbook paper, and I got all my scrapbook paper at Hobby Lobby when it's like 50% off. I'm gonna trace out my heart. Now for me, whenever I'm cutting something out to Mod Podge, I always cut like around the line I drew just to give me a little wiggle room with my placement, because if I have too much, I could always sand off the excess. So I'm going to apply some Mod Podge. I have been finding that when I apply the Mod Podge directly to the paper and then just put like the smallest amount on the item I'm going to be sticking it to, I have like the least bubbles and air pockets ever. So I apply it on, and then I'm going to get my little squeegee from Mod Podge, and I'm going to push all the excess Mod Podge out, make sure there's no bubbles. And then I did sand the edges. Now, I was inspired by my friend Jessica. She has just recently kind of gotten into junk journaling, and she's been showing me all these like really cool things. So that's why I was inspired to do these. So I just ripped off some more scrapbook paper, applying more of that Mod Podge, and then I am going to apply that straight on there. All right, so I'm going to set that one aside, and then we are going to do another heart. I'm not going to show you this process since I already showed you the first one. After you're done doing that, then we're going to start our favorite part, the accessorizing. So I'm going to take this cream twine. This is from Wally World. And I highly suggest, as you are putting this around the heart, to tack it off with hot glue, because since the edges are curved, your twine is going to move around on you if you don't secure it down. So that's what I did as I went around. So tack it off there. I'm going to bring it around one more time. There you go. Got to find the right placement, you know. Cut that excess off. And then you guys, I think they're supposed to be roses. I found this one stem at Dollar Tree. It is seriously the nicest quality I have ever seen. And I only found one of them. So you know I grabbed it. So I'm just going to take some of that greenery, hot glue that on. Then take that rose. I made sure to cut the stem off of it as close to the flower as I could so it laid flat. Next, I'm going to take some of the wood flowers, put those in there. Oh, like this, both of these turned out so beautiful. I cannot wait to decorate my home with these. All right, and for this one, now I'm going to make some lace flowers. I know there's different ways of doing it, but for me, what I did was I did it directly on to the heart. So I made like a little ball of the lace, hot glued it to the heart, and then I am on the heart, I am twisting and hot gluing as I go. Now, you could definitely do this by cutting out like a piece of felt in a circle and doing it the same way. But for me, I was like, well, why do that? I could do it directly on to the heart. So that was lace ribbon. And now I'm going to take some, I took a gem. Now I'm taking, so you can see how I started that little knot right in the middle. This is actually my veil, my wedding veil. It was too long when I bought it, and the seamstress cut it, and I saved all of the excess of it. So you could see as I'm turning it, I am twisting the tool up, placing that hot glue directly onto my heart, and then just following it around until I get the size that I want. And I just thought this was like so much easier because I was trying to do it like off the heart and it just wasn't getting as flat as I wanted. So, okay, out of there. Okay, and then in this bag of costume jewelry that I got at the garage sale this summer, I found this little like brooch piece and I was like, yes, that is so beautiful. So I'm gonna hot glue that onto there. And then I am also going to take some pearls from the costume jewelry as well, hot glue those over to the side, and then we are going to be done accessorizing these ladies, and look at how they turned out. I love them. I love the scrapbook paper. I love the torn edges. And look at this one with that red rose. Oh my gosh, girl. Yes. Let me know which one is your favorite, the one on the left or the right. Okay, so here's another new thing that I've never tried before. So we're trying it together. I am going to be taking some bowls, some doilies, this Mod Podge Stiffened. I've never used this stuff before, you guys. I saw something on Pinterest and I was like, I want to try that. So I ordered it right away from Amazon. Okay, so I put some gloves on for this because I didn't know really what I was working with. I'm taking these beautiful doilies that one of my subscribers sent me. And first I start with a little bit. Then I'm like, oh, I'm going to need a lot more because you have to completely submerge whatever you're doing in the product. And now I'm working the product through the doily to ensure that it is on every inch of this piece. So as you can see, like I'm looking over, making sure there's no dry spots. I do wring it out. Now, I don't know if I was supposed to. It didn't specify. I didn't watch videos on this. I just saw like a post that said stiff it and then doilies. And I was like, I'm doing that. So I put this upside down on this really cool bowl from Dollar Tree. Then I'm doing a small little doily and I'm going to use a glass bowl. Now, I think I read that it works better if there's like plastic wrap, but I really had no trouble getting these off the bowls. Then I wanted to try a thin lace material just to see after they dried what the difference would be. And you guys, this is it. Like this is all you had to do for this DIY, and they make the most beautiful bowls, little trinkets, dishes. I mean, I was blown away when I took these off after they dried. I did let them dry overnight. And then with the pink lace, I just cut the excess off around. And look at these. Look at these, ladies and gents. Look at this. Do you see the like ruffling around the edges? It is so stiff. The pink one isn't as stiff as the doilies. And you'll see it's like super flexible. And then this little one, like a trinket dish. Oh my gosh, you guys. Let me know if you're going to try this, okay? Because souffle dishes, I don't know. They're from Dollar General, and it was $4 for the pack of 4. And I was like, I would pay $1 at Dollar Tree individually, so why not? These hearts are also from Dollar General. They were garlands, like 3 different garlands, and then they got all knotted up in a box. So we are going to use a red, the stripe, and then like a burlap color one. We're going to do 3 of these total. So we're going to get our dishes. I'm going to get some floral foam. Y'all know I don't like gluing if I don't have to glue. So I just made that floral foam big enough where I can squeeze it in there and not have to glue it because it had a tight hold. So I'm going to put some Spanish moss on top of that to hide it. You could also use that, like, you know, the bag filler from Dollar Tree if you want it colorful. Then I'm going to take some wood beads and alternate sizes. Now, all of these hearts are going to be different lengths. So I'm keeping the skewer. This is a Dollar Tree skewer, by the way. They're nice and skinny and fit on the beads. I am going to keep them full length to start off. I get my hot glue, glue our little stuffed hearts on the skewer, and then I'm going to get my dog nail clippers. You could actually get dog nail clippers from Dollar Tree, and they're awesome for cutting skewers and just little pieces. So I'm going to cut that off the top. I should really work on my camera angles, you know, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, so I'm going to do one more since that was kind of hard. So I'm going to put the skewer in. You could put the Spanish moss in first too. It doesn't matter. And again, I didn't hot glue the skewer in only because I knew I wanted to like reuse all of this. So I'm going to do the Spanish moss. And I did see this on like something similar to this on Pinterest. However, it was like a shared post of the original post. So I don't know who to give credit to. So sorry. But so this one we're going to make a little longer. We're going to put some hot glue on the back of our heart. You can also use like the wood cutout hearts from Dollar Tree. That's another great option. There's a lot of different things you could put on here, like for spring. hot glue some bunnies on here or something, so tons of options that you can do with these if Valentine's Day is not your jam. So again, I'm going to cut the top of the skewer off once I know it's the length that I want it. Easy peasy, right, you guys? So we're going to go and do a third one. Not sure if I show you that or not, in case you didn't get it the first time. Yeah, I decided to show you this instead of being like great at editing and cutting it out. So you guys are welcome. But you guys, these are going to be so easy. All of these crafts are going to be easy to do. And this is how they turned out. I think I'm going to put these in my kitchen. Everything else in the family area is like that shabby chic kind of decor. So it'd be nice to change it up in the kitchen and do these traditional colors. But I love the simplicity of them. And like I said, no hot glue, so I could change these up after Valentine's Day. I am having us try something new again. So this is, I know it's plaster of Paris, but I call it Paris of plaster. Anyways, you take 2 parts plaster, 1 part cold water. So for me, I use 2 cups of the plaster, 1 cup of cold water, and I'm just mixing it with the bottom of the paintbrush. But you're gonna mix it until you have a nice, smooth consistency. And you want to work right away with it because it will eventually dry out. So I am going to take some fake flowers from Dollar Tree. And I am going to dip these into the Paris of plaster. Now, this is my first time making these, y'all, so it was a lot of trial and error. So I dip the flowers in there. I try to get a pretty healthy coat, and then I twist them to get that excess off. You don't want them drowning in the plaster because then it's literally going to flatten your flower out. So as you can see, I also left the stem, like a nice amount of the stem on so that I could hold it and I don't have to get my hands in there. I will say for the project I was doing, I wish I would have gone with some smaller fake roses just so I could put more of like a bundle on top of my jar versus one. And next time I want to try hanging them upside down to dry instead of laying them on this wax paper. So this is how they look once they dry, and they dry super fast. And you'll see that flat part is where we laid it on the wax, which, is fine because we are going to lay them on top of jars anyways. But I wish I just would have had either larger tops to my jars or smaller flowers. So taking these jars I got from Dollar Tree during the fall season, I am going to paint this one with Serenity Blue. I also paint one with chiffon and then the blush pink. And then I did spray paint these with some clear matte by Rust-Oleum. I find that it helps the chalk adhere better. There's less chipping and all of that stuff that comes when you put chalk paint onto glass. I am also going to paint the lids with the corresponding colors. And after that, I take my rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and I'm going to hit all of those edges on the glass. Now, I only put 1 coat of chalk paint on here because I liked the streakiness it gave it. That was just my preference, but y'all know you do you. And then we are going to move on to our flowers. So I take the stem off, then cut that little piece off the back. And like I said, they're gonna lay flat on here. I put that on the top. Now see, wouldn't this have looked so pretty with like a cluster of them on here? But we're gonna work with what we got. So next I'm going to take some vintage. These came off of some really old florals from the thrift store. And I'm gonna attach those to the back just to give it, since it's only 1 rose, I knew I didn't want to leave it like singled like that. So I added these roses and I think they were like the perfect color and like leaf shape for the rose. So I'm going to play around with placement. I'm going to do the same thing for each of my containers. So I'm not going to show you each one. Next, I take some remnants of my lace and my chiffon. I am going to tie a cute, just basic bow around the lid. And then, of course, I have to hot glue a pearl in between my little bow loops just for an added touch. And you guys, that is it. Check these out. We're going to call these Paris flowers, okay? Or you could call them porcelain flowers, but I am so digging these. I love them. I think they are absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to try the plaster of Paris more and more with different flowers. I think it's so cool. So this is from Dollar Tree, the XOXO. I'm going to paint it with our pink chalk paint, of course. Now, a technique, because I'm only going to put this paint on the top part of the sign. I don't do the sides. And people ask sometimes, how do you not get it on the sides? Well, as you can see, when I am painting towards the bottom, I'm taking that paintbrush towards the bottom. When I'm painting towards the top, I take it towards the top. Man, I am horrible at explaining how to paint stuff. All right, so now taking transfers from Dollar Tree. You guys, I love transfers. I think they are such a beautiful way to add some more zhuzh to some projects. So we are only going to have to use one sheet of the transfer from Dollar Tree. You can use a library card. I mean, anything to smooth these down. I like to smooth them down, and then I like to peel up the paper as I'm doing it. That way, if something is still stuck on our paper, I can place it back down and rub over it some more. Now, with this piece, how I said I just used one sheet for the entire thing, that is because I am just going to take random spots of this transfer and go over different sections of our O and our X's and our O's here. So you'll see, I'm going to break away. I'm going to do like this little piece over here. I put the XOXO somewhere else. So you guys, I get it. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down. So I'm not going to put you through the torture of watching me do this entire thing. But you guys see where I'm going with this. And this could be done with any of the transfers. So I'm going to finish that up. Then we are going to take these pearl sticker thingamajiggers from Dollar Tree. Now, you guys, these are not only adhesive on the bottom, but they are sticky, icky on the top too. So make sure you have a clean work area because everything and anything will stick to this stuff. So I am going to line this entire piece with these pearls. Now it does get harder as you come to these sections where the letters connect, but I promise you can do it. I even did the inside of the O's with the pearls as well, and it just comes out looking so darn stunning. So I hope you guys were able to find these at your Dollar Tree. This is actually one from last year. All right, so after that is done, we are going to take our wreath. You guys, I found 2 of these wreaths at a garage sale for $1 each this summer. We're going to take pipe cleaners. I just stapled those right on. It doesn't matter if they're black because it is not going to show at all. And as you guys know, I love me some grapevine wreaths because you can put florals through them. The pipe cleaners, you don't have to use any glue. So I can take this XOXO off after Valentine's Day, put a little wooden, bunny or something on there. Easy peasy. And I just love the way these colors go together. But I just take it through, turn it around, twist up that pipe cleaner, cut the excess off, and we are all done. And you guys, look at how gorgeous this is. I have this on a salvage piece my dad gave me. I have some of my veil swoops in the background with some vintage flowers, a vintage window, some silver bookends. Oh, it just all looks so good put together. I absolutely love it. Thank you guys. Next one is a handmade, so it seems, toolbox that I got from Savers. Again, $2.99. And I made a mistake. I cleaned this, I sanded it, I thought it would be fine. But you know what? It's an old piece. I should have used my shellac. Shellac is like a stain blocker. If you have like wood knots, those won't come through. I should have sprayed this entire toolbox with shellac because what happened was I went and painted this entire thing and then the tannins and the oils started coming through the paint. So just word to the wise, if it's an older piece, spray it with shellac. So this paint is the DIY paint that I get from upcycledbybrie.com. I will link it down below. This is Farm Fresh. It is an absolutely stunning clay-based paint. And as you can see, as it dries down, it starts to get lighter and lighter, so it's not going to stay this dark. And it turns out absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to paint everything but the sides of this toolbox. And you're going to see why we wait to do these sides. We are going to be using the IOD paint inlays, which are brand new from IOD. And what they are, it's essentially like this pattern right here is paint, like it's painted florals on this piece of paper that we're going to transfer to our toolbox. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just laying it on the paper, trying to get as much of those flowers as I can. I'm going to trace it out, and then we are going to cut this image out. You want to save all of your extra paper because we could use that on other projects down the road. And you guys, they have this one. IOD sent me this one, and they sent me like a blue floral print too, and I know they've come out with more since then. Okay, so now we're going to get our paint. You guys have to work so fast. The paint has to be wet in order for this to work. So work in smaller sections. If you're working on furniture, you would have to cut your paper into pieces. That way you could work in smaller sections. So as you can see, I'm still using the Farm Fresh. And this stuff dries so quick, so I had to work super fast. And then I'm going to get that inlay. I'm going to put it face down. You don't want to play around with the paper too much. You don't want to be like rubbing it all over the place. So you lay it down. Then you're going to spritz it with water. Okay, I have a little sprayer. And then I'm going to pat it down with a microfiber cloth. You're going to wait for this to dry. It could take 10 minutes. It could take 30 minutes. Mine took a little bit longer. I think it's because it was so cold in my basement. But you're going to leave it alone. You'll know when it's dry because the paper turns white again. So after this dries, you're going to take your same little water bottle thing. You're going to spritz your paper. You really want it damp. And wait 30 seconds. Then you're going to peel this back, okay? If you find that paper is still sticking, you just spritz a little bit more water on here. Now, with this side, this was my first side that I attempted. You could see that the flowers look a lot more distressed. I'll show you on the end reveal, the other side comes out a lot more vibrant. You save these pieces of paper, you guys, because you can reuse these over and over again. They're not going to be as vibrant, but you can still reuse them. So now taking these molds that Vonda sent me as well, these are also from IOD. They had this beautiful pendant mold with floral, with roses in it. So I was like, oh, I gotta be extra and add a little something more to the front since it's so plain. So I'm just getting my IOD clay. I'm pushing it in my mold. I did put cornstarch in there so that it does not stick to the mold. You guys have to, if you've never looked at the IOD stuff, go check out Vonda's website. Seriously. The stuff is amazing. So now I'm going to cut that excess clay. Clay off. Sorry for my big hairdo. Now I'm taking this pink chalk paint. I think it's from Folk Art. And I'm just focusing on all of the raised edges of this pendant. So like the roses, the little beadwork on the edges. I just wanted this super light, super feminine. And then we are going to take our Star Bond thick adhesive. And I'm just eyeballing this here. I was really shocked that I got it pretty darn in the middle. And it just adds like that, just that little touch that it needed. I love it. And this is what it turned out to look like. Look at how beautiful. This is, again, the Farm Fresh from DIY Paint. We have the paint inlays by, DIY Paint. Yeah, IOD. And then just that little detail right there. And look, you could see on this side how much more vibrant the paint inlay came out. But you guys, let me know what you think of these paint inlays. I think they're so awesome. Oh, and I did actually dry brush some white wax on there as well. Let me know what I was gonna make it with. So, oh, first I gotta show you Everett's coloring because he did that for us and wanted me to show you guys. But silver at my Goodwill is always 50% off. And I've had like a collection of these, didn't know what I wanted to do with them. And I saw that picture and was like, oh my gosh, that finally I have the inspiration on what to do with them. So I'm going to use the green floral foam. I just get it from Dollar Tree. Everett is going to help us out with this. He is home for winter break right now. So this pick is actually from Dollar Tree, and it's a beautiful sage color with a blush pink on it. And we're going to use a full bouquet of this. And we are just going to make sure that this looks as full as possible. And you'll see Everett, I try to show him, like, you got to look all the way around it, make sure there's no holes. So he really gets into it and starts like turning it around, looking for any like missing spots where we need more. And he would even direct me and be like, Mom, we need more. We need more for this one. And look at how cute. Watch this last one. I thought it was the cutest thing. He like turns it around and is like really looking and trying to pay attention. So cute. Then we grab some Spanish moss and we're just going to tuck that down in there just so you for sure can't see any of that green floral foam anywhere. And I just think it gives it a little added like rustic touch to the, I was going to say potted plant. They're definitely not potted. And then you guys, I was having a hard time because I didn't have any smaller flowers. And then I started remembering, hello, you have all the flowers that we've thrifted along the way from like baskets, arrangements, and my girl, Bree from upcycledbybrie.com, she showed in one of her videos that you could wash them with Dawn dish soap, let them dry, and I've done that with all of my thrifted flowers. So I remembered, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have all those flowers sitting over there. So I grabbed them and they had these beautiful roses in there. And then another arrangement I'll show you at the end had these beautiful purple dried roses and like burgundy flowers. And you guys, I put 3 of these arrangements together and look how stunning they turned out. Like these would look beautiful on a vanity, with books in a bookshelf, on a mantle. I mean, anywhere. These would fit perfectly, and the floral arrangements you can do with them are absolutely endless. And if you have a booth, these will be great sellers for you. All right, for this one, you guys, we all know what these are. These are the little things from Dollar Tree. And you guys, like life, I am winging it full time. While crafting, I sit down and I have no idea what I'm doing. I start with a piece like this and then it totally goes a different way. So you'll see in a minute. So this is Seashell Pink by Folk Art. It is an acrylic matte paint. And you guys, you know I use my chalk paint most of the time, but I was quite shook by this color. One, the coverage was amazing. 2, it really dried down a beautiful matte, almost like a chalk paint. And I was thoroughly impressed. So I'm going to paint this, the Seashell Pink. Then I'm going to grab, these are floor samples from Home Depot. They're absolutely free. Go pick yourself up some. Don't be greedy though, okay? And you will see right here, it's a floor sample. So it's a vinyl floor sample. It has the wood grain texture on it. I'm going to paint the front and the sides with the pink. I'm going to go ahead and let it dry, and then we're going to take our Star Bond again and we are going to attach it to the front. Now, these could have been double-sided, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead when I made them, you know? So, I mean, I still could, I guess. So I'm going to attach this to the front, okay? And I wanted to cover the letters, and then that way the back was nice and smooth. So again, I'm taking the second one and I'm going to paint this in plaster. I wish I had 3. You guys know I like buying things in sets of 3s when I go to Dollar Tree, but I guess I must have used one of these for something. So again, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take another one of those floor samples. We're going to paint it with plaster. Then I'm going to take the rough sanding block from Dollar Tree and I'm going to scuff this up. And you guys, because of that, like the grain texture, this gave me the most beautiful distressed look ever. So we're going to hot glue that on. You guys know how to do that. Then I'm going to take this twine. It's like a red and a tan kind of color. And I'm going to twist that up. I was like, how do I get the overlapping on just one side so I could cover that with the heart? It took me a hot minute, okay? But we figured it out. So I'm going to wrap that around and then we're going to tack it off on the back with hot glue. See, I feel like this could have been double-sided and I could have made that look nicer and then made the back like St. Patrick's Day or something. So I'm going to take these hearts from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go over the red because they were a little too bright for my liking compared to the twine. And then I'm going to hit them with some antique wax around the edges. I think it just helps it, you know, pop a little bit. And I'm going to apply one of them to the, see like where it overlaps each other. I'm going to cover that up. Then I'm going to take our rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. Now, I know a lot of you guys say that you can't find transfers. There's options. You could use your own penmanship. You can use the Mod Podge transfer. You can do the pencil transfer where you like scribble on the back of a printout and then trace it. So there's other options. And Dollar Tree has tons of the letter stencils. So that's another option. But I chose to go with the transfers because I did have them and I was trying not to use vinyl because let's face it, I was just being lazy. And I'm going to rub these on here and we're going to come out with XOXO. For the plaster color one, I am going to put the red heart and I'm going to overlap that heart with a raw wood piece as well. I just wanted to make them look like a little different from each other. And then I'm going to go back into the transfers and we are going to put hugs on here. And you guys, you could put anything. You could put kisses. What are some other words? Drop some other words down below. That's as far as I got. And then I'm like, what else would you put on there? You could put names. That could be cute. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these on here. Man, I always think I do such a great job editing. And then I like go to do my voiceovers and I'm like, girl, they did not need to see all this. All right, so this is how they came out. These are also gonna go in my kitchen. I wish I had like a coffee nook or something, you know, but this, I'll find a place for them. I think they're super cute. Look at that distressing on here. Oh, I love these. Who's gonna go pick up free floor? So for this next DIY, we're gonna use, this is a piece of wood from Michael's. I'm going to use, I think this one was lamp white in the Fusion Mineral Paints. And I am going to coat the front, the back, and the sides with this. I only do one coat because I saw that the wood grain was coming through just a little bit and I was digging it. So for this one, we're going to use the Folk Art rub-on transfers, which you could get on plaid.com. If I could find this exact one, I will definitely link it down below. All right. So for the folk art one, it does not say you have to clear it with anything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try this one, not put the polyacrylic on first. So I'm just cutting my pieces out, trying to play around with the placement here, see what I like. And then we're going to just do the same thing that we did with all the other ones. We place it on. I'm going to use my scraper. I'm going to take my time, making sure that my, my graphic is down and is going to stay there. So you'll see me, I'll start lifting up one side and I just go slowly, make sure everything is going onto the board and isn't stuck on to my paper. So you can see just a little bit at a time. And then I take our biggest piece, which are these beautiful florals, and I'm going to do the same thing. I won't make you watch me do this entire thing because look, I'm watching a darn movie, you guys, okay? Which I should not be doing because then it takes me 10 times longer to do a craft. I think this whole DIY took me like 2 hours. I'm not joking. All right. So now that I got all my transfers on, I am taking my water-based polyacrylic. I'm going to put 2 coats on the front because this is going to be a tray, so I want it to be very durable. And then I will put 1 coat on the back of it. We'll go ahead and let that dry. Then I'm going to take these cup handles that I got from Hobby Lobby, 50% off, so I think they were like $2 each. And they were just a little bit too yellow for me, so I ended up painting them in that same white. And I will then put them on top of our wood piece, put some screws in there, and screw those down. I do paint the screws the same color as our handles, so that is all cohesive. I would not just leave that silver. And you guys, check out how beautiful this comes out. Girl, look at that. And the thing is, you can't tell these are rub-ons, like, at all. It just looks like a part of one piece. They're absolutely stunning, and they're so easy to work with. It's not even, but it's so easy. I'll put that link. But I had these, of course, from Goodwill. I usually only buy them, but they're 50% off, so they were $1.50 each. I'm going to take our Serenity Blue, and we are going to go ahead and give this 2 coats of paint. And you guys, we know if you have the old like oak candlesticks, paint those, okay? Just get them out, paint them. We know some of you have them out there, okay? And if you don't, go to your Goodwill, see what days they have like their 50% off, or not days, colors. They have 50% off. All right. I just had to show you that box of the mica powders. Those are from Arteza. They sent me those a long time ago. Okay, anyways, now I'm taking the clear wax. Again, you want a light amount. It does not have to be an outrageous amount. This is going to help seal your chalk paint, and it's also going to help with the mica powder that we're about to put on here. So it was called, I think, white gold. So it looks white, but then like when the light reflects on it, it looks gold. So I tried to, you guys, not like filming is like not my job or anything, but I do a really good job at showing you guys what I'm doing. I have never said before. So sorry, I'm not really showing you, but I did try applying it with my finger. I tried applying it without the wax, but for some reason it didn't show up as good as it did with the flour. So I ended up going in with the wax again, pat dry it off with like a paper towel, and then apply that mica powder wherever you see fit. For me, I tried to hit like all of those, what am I trying to say? Grooves, edges. And then I kind of was like, I think it needs a little bit more. So I added more. Now I'm just taking some lace I cut up. I'm just going to double knot them. I tried a bow, but no, not really working out for me. So I just left it with the double knot. Then taking an older DIY, I'm going to rip the flowers off the top with these little, it's not peonies, it's peonies, right? And then I'm going to just hot glue those on. And you guys, like I said, you do you. Like, you use different flowers, put some pearls on here, change up the color if you don't like Serenity Blue. The options are absolutely endless. So you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I was trying to give you guys more, I know Valentine's Day is coming, but I know not everybody celebrates Valentine's. So just more romantic, kind of shabby chic DIYs that maybe you could include in your decor. And these colors will also bring you into the spring as well, so you can leave them out a bit longer. And you guys, all right, for this one, I am taking this sign from Dollar Tree. Now, you guys, it took me so long to get the back off of this, and then I realized they had nailed it down with little baby tiny nails, and I was like, well, there was our problem. So I'm going to clean this off. Now, I had no scrapbook paper at all that was like traditional colors. So what I did was I took this velvet scrapbook paper. It wasn't obviously the color I wanted. So I am going to paint it with that seashell pink color. Sorry, you guys, I'm out of breath. I had to crawl up the stairs. Basically, that's what you were doing. So after we get these completely covered, this completely covered, I just take my heat gun and dry it on up. Is it the perfect pink color like to go with this? No, but you know what? It worked. We made it work, and that's what crafting's all about. So I'm going to take a good coat of Mod Podge because this is a thicker scrapbook paper. I'm going to roll. Oh, help me, Tom Cruise. I am going to brush that on. Then my nifty Mod Podge scraper thing. And, y'all, excuse me. Then I am going to pop it back into the frame. Had to hot glue it just a little bit. What are we doing next? Okay, taking the metal heart from Dollar Tree. Now, all these burlap roses are from Dollar Tree. Yeah, girl thought she had enough to fill the entire thing. So at first, I start going in. You do have to cut the bottoms off of these only because they were taller than the actual metal heart. So I didn't want them like popping out too much. So that took some work. Your hands might hurt a little bit. But I start gluing them in, and at first I'm like, okay, I'm just going to put them randomly in there, and then I start looking at my flowers, and I'm like, ooh, are you going to have enough? And this is where I say, like, you just make it work. Like, you figure it out along the way. If it doesn't go as planned, you'll figure out some other way to make it look gorgeous and work for you. So then I start just alternating colors all the way around the rim. Then this is right here. I'm like, this isn't going to work. I had already hot glued that guy. So I was like, okay, I'm going to put heat on the back. It popped right off for me. I ended up getting Spanish moss and just stuffing it in the middle of it. Again, this is for me, so I didn't hot glue the Spanish moss. If I were to put this in my booth, of course, I would attach it. But so I did it that way, and I think it looks just as good. You can even filling the middle with pearls would have been pretty too. So then I drill a hole at the top. This already had twine attached to it, so I just pulled it through, knotted it up, and here we go. Let me know what you guys think about that, or what you would have done maybe to like the back, like instead of the scrapbook paper being that. I don't know. I mean, we made it work, did we not? So, okay, this one is a frame that I got from a garage sale for 25 cents. If you guys don't go to garage or yard sales, you guys are missing out. I did clean it. Now I am taking my Crackle medium. This is for chalk paint, and it is in my Amazon store link. I am taking my chip brush, and what you want to do is you want to focus on only putting like one stroke of your brush on the frame. So you don't want to like keep going over it and working it over itself. It does better when you just put one swipe of it on. And then you could either let it air dry, or if you want more of a crackle, you're going to apply your heat to it, which is what I end up doing because I love me some crackle, okay? So you can see right here, apply that heat gun. I am going to set this to the side and just let it like finish up. You don't want it tacky or anything. And we're going to work on our next piece. So taking these grapevine hearts from Dollar Tree, Spanish moss. Y'all, please tell me why I grabbed this plate like it made some kind of difference, because it's still, you could see all over, not the plate, but you know, in my head, I thought I was making my life easier. So I'm going to hot glue the Spanish moss to these grapevine hearts. I'm going to do 3 in total. I am just pressing these down. You want to make sure you get the sides too, because since we are hanging these, the side will show. And don't worry if it doesn't look like a heart right now, because we will fix this. Now, this is the opportunity if you ever wanted to become a hairstylist. Chop, chop, chop away right here. You're going to style this. You are going to trim it down. We want to get that shape back. So make sure you are cutting as close as you can to the heart itself so you really get that heart shape back. Then I take all 3 hearts outside and I do spray paint them with a cream color spray paint, okay? And it worked out great. All right, so now that that's dry, I am taking my pink chalk paint. And again, you only want to try and do like one swipe of your paintbrush over your already crackled frame. If you keep going over the same spot, it's not going to give you the effect you want. So I'm going to cover the inside, the outside, and how lucky was I that this frame was already this beautiful turquoise color that we've been working with. Okay, so once that is dry, we're gonna grab our hearts. Look at that color. It is like exactly the color we needed. So I'm tying some chiffon to our hearts. I do play around with the placement. So you'll see I'm gonna attach this to the back just using an old school stapler, nothing fancy. You could even hot glue it. Then I'll tie that chiffon in a knot around the staple to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. Cut the excess off. Now I'm going to flip it back over. And again, you need to play with the placement so that you know exactly where to put these. If you hear anybody snoring, Hank is on the bed next to me sleeping. Okay, so as you can see, I'm putting that middle back down, the bottom back down. That way I know exactly where I want my hearts to go. Flip it around, staple it like we did the first one, and then tie it off. And we will do the same thing for the third heart. I think you guys are picking up what I'm putting down by now. All right, now we're gonna take our scraps of tulle of lace. We're gonna wrap it around 4 fingers one time. We're gonna make a fabric bow, a Shabby chic fabric bow. I'm gonna take some chiffon, tie it around the middle, double knot that. I'm just going to fluff it out. You just want it messy looking. It doesn't have to be all nice and neat. That's what I love about Shabby chic. And then we are going to apply it to the side. And you guys know I'm going to put a pearl in the middle. I think you guys already know. And look at how pretty this looks. I'll post a picture in my community tab. I ended up styling this with this beautiful mint vintage window on my haul tree, and it looks gurga. All right, we're taking 2 tags from Dollar Tree. We are taking plaster. We are going to cover both of these babies up with plaster. I just said that. Ooh, you guys, send help. Maternity brain is like, it's there. Okay. So I'm only going to do 1 coat on each tag, and then we are going to, or actually I was going to say that all the tags are different sizes at Dollar Tree. So keep that in mind. These are the 4th of July ones, which are a bit wider. The Easter ones are skinnier and have the scallop tops. And then the Valentine's Day ones from last year are huge. So this is a Dollar Tree stencil. See, you never know. That's why I just buy stuff, because I just never know when I'm going to use it. And I am just going to tape that on so it doesn't move around. Take my crimson, some a stencil brush from Dollar Tree, and I am going to start stenciling this entire tack, just one of them. Now, I hit it with a little bit of heat. That way, as I peel it up, the paint that's on the actual stencil isn't wet, so when I go to lay it back down, I don't have to worry about like smearing it with my finger or any of it coming on the bottom. So that's what I did, and it ended up working out. I had no problems with the paint getting anywhere else. I do cover the entire thing, like I said. I didn't know where exactly I was going with this. Half of it ends up being covered, but it is what it is. All right, so now I'm taking this truck from Dollar General. I actually painted this last year, and I'm repurposing the other side of it. So I'm taking that seashell pink, and we are going to, I'm going to cover the whole truck with it. I figured, you know what, this color is light enough that I can go over it with other colors when I decide where I want to take this. So I just went with it. I'm going to do the big heart in the pink color. You guys, this pink is so beautiful. You have to pick it up. Folk art, well, they sell folk art at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, most craft stores, I'm sure. All right. So now I'm going to take the back of my paintbrush. I'm going to put some little polka dots on the big heart here. Then, ladies, don't throw away those old makeup brushes you don't like anymore, especially the synthetic ones. These are makeup brushes that I'm using, and I love them because they are a little thicker than a paintbrush. So when you go to like line things like how I made that heart, the bristles don't fan out. So like with this one, this is an angled synthetic makeup brush. And I am going to, for this middle one, trace out my heart, and I have to make my own loops on the right and the left side. And because the bristles are thicker and angled, it came out perfect. So you guys, let's just throw away all of our paintbrushes and replace them with all makeup brushes, okay? Multi-purpose. Mama's always trying to save some money. All right. So once we get that painted, I'm going to hit the tires with some steel gray. I'm just doing like a messy brush on them. I don't know what it is about trucks, but I feel like I can never like accessorize them or turn them into anything like extraordinary. But I think I did an okay job on this one. All right, so for the rack, we're going to go ahead and take that antique wax. And you can see, like I did the whole thing pink, but like it's covering pretty well. Then I'm going to take this transfer. It looks like antique, like packages wrapped with like a little heart. I'll show you at the end. It's cute. All right, now we're going to attach our two tags together. You guys, the way I do this is just, do you see this? I'm like taking my ruler, laying it down. Then I'm going to take a piece of paper. And this is so I know where to place my hot glue and where to lay down the top tag. I'm a mess, I tell you. So here we go. You can see we covered most of that heart, but it is what it is. Okay, now I'm taking some twine. We need a little hanger. Now we're going to glue our truck on. Easy peasy. Dollar General squeezy. And see, that was, I repurposed it. Yeah, good thing we did. That wasn't cute. Okay, and then I'm going to take a couple of those hearts that are over to the side. I'm going to paint them pink and then one red, and I'm going to put them on top of the truck. I felt like up there needed something, but I didn't want words on it. I don't know why, but I didn't. You guys, you're going to hate me, but I don't know how to explain what I'm doing here. I like do one loop, then I do a second loop bigger, and then this is called the lazy unicorn bow because I don't do any cutting. I literally do one loop, a bigger loop, and then I loop the ribbon around the middle. So literally I'm not cutting anything except the excess off. And then you have yourself a bow out of one piece of ribbon. I'm sure this is called something else, but we're going to call it the lazy unicorn bow. All right, then I'm going to cut a second piece. We're going to fold those together, cut some dovetails. Now, for whatever reason, I wasn't liking how messy the middle of my bow looked from when I wrapped it. So I end up cutting another piece of the burlap ribbon off. This is wired ribbon. I think this is from Burlap fabric. It has like sparkly red pieces in it. And then I wrap the dovetails in with this new middle piece. And I don't know, it just looked neater and cleaner. And yeah, I liked it. All right, so this is going to go on my front door. I love it. I can't wait for you to see the little like transfer because it's absolutely adorable. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here with me this Saturday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend with your family and your friends. I appreciate you all being here with me. And if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the bell so you're notified.
Quick costume change. This size, this is for sale, extra large on my website. I'm just modeling it right now for some pictures. So I was like, I might as well just hop in here. So there, you guys, you could buy the extra large and it was worn by Sammy Beltry. Oh, just kidding. I'm not that cool. But you know what? Now I'm like, maybe I'll keep this. Let's see. Gotta stamp. It's not that bad for an extra large. It's just cozy. It's just cozy. Look at how fun that marbling effect was. Anyways, okay. Okay. So you guys, okay. You guys, I think you guys know this, but in light of it being like a love day, like romantic-ish, I just wanted to say that I appreciate you all and I adore you all. And I really do appreciate that you guys take the time out of your hectic days. Like, I know how busy life is, and I appreciate that you take the like 10 minutes or the 30 minutes or these hour-long videos and watch my content. Like, it means so much to me that you guys choose to click on my video and choose to hear my voice in the background and watch what I have to offer. So thank you so much. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye. Oh, I'm a mess. Okay. Anybody see Crybaby Hatchet Face? Or she does that like. Oh, I'm talking to myself. Okay. Real talk, I ordered a shameful amount of food from Taco Bell the other day. And there was a part of me that was like, you shouldn't be shameful because you're eating for two. But then I was like, this is a lot of Taco Bell, you know what I'm saying? And I ended up only eating like 2 out of like the 6 things that I ordered that like I thought, I was like, oh, that looks good, but then that looks good, and then that looks good. But I will tell you, if you guys have a Taco Bell, the $2 chicken chipotle burrito, that was bomb. That was bomb. I liked it. I liked it. You should try it. Okay, now. All right, you guys. So for my peeps that stick around all the way till the end, you guys are literally like my ride or dies for sure. And I appreciate that you hang out till the end because it makes me feel like you want to spend more time with me. But I wanted to do something special for, I wish it could be all of you, but one of you will win a little, I don't know if I want to make like a goodie box or something, but for sure, I am going to put in one of these Mod Podge Stiffy bottles. I ordered one and for some reason 3 came, but I mean, you use a lot. So one of these, I'm going to cut out some of this lace fabric that I have, and I'm going to send that as well. Then I'm also going to send a Dollar Tree calendar, or maybe like a couple, some from last year. I don't know if I have any from this year, but I will check. And then probably some other goodies. So all you have to do to enter is be a US resident, 18 and over. One day, you guys, when I'm like rich and famous, I will definitely ship to like Canada and stuff when I can afford it. But so 18 and over, US resident. And you guys, in the comments, don't comment, I am entering the giveaway, okay? All I want you to do is put your usual comment and then put 3 emojis. 3 emojis. For those of you that don't know what emojis are, those are if you open your keyboard and the little smiley face, click on that, and then a bunch of faces will pop up. Put 3 of them. 3 of them. And then I'll know that you made it this far and that you want to enter the giveaway. I will comment on your comment. So if you see an email pop through, don't just delete it from YouTube. It's probably me. And then I will have you send me an email. I will also have you send me a picture of your identification card. Yes, people spam and like try to get these little giveaways all the time. So it's just added protection. So yeah, I will do that next Tuesday. I will pick a winner and I will comment. And then I will also put it on my community tab as well. Okay? Okay. Okay, now I should probably record this intro. Wait, okay, yeah, okay, let's mention that. The pregnancy brain is like strong. The fog is there. I managed to like completely cut off the end of a video and not even know it until a subscriber like said like it cut off. I know a lot of people were saying like, oh, I wish I could have seen the end of like the candles, and I was like, oh, I know, but I showed a picture at least. And then somebody said like, no, the entire video cut off, and I was like, went to go look. Yeah, the video wasn't there. And then I announced last Tuesday that it was Try It Tuesday. It wasn't. Try It Tuesday is the last Tuesday of every month, which would be this video. So okay, let's get, here's the bump, you guys. Ginormous. I totally showed you this on a video, but I cut it off on accident. The whole end of the video I cut off. So this is baby M. We're 16 weeks. This is my third one. That's why I'm so big, okay? Don't ask me if I'm having twins. The answer is no. If I was, I would definitely have told you guys. Let's get this out of the way. When people are like, are you sure you're not having twins? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I would have told you guys. I would have announced it. I would have seen it in an ultrasound. I would have heard 2 heartbeats. Like, I feel like asking that question is like asking like somebody that hasn't announced their pregnancy, are you pregnant? You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, you guys, I hope you all had a great Christmas. I got the cutest, my kids, it was their first time doing like kids corner where you give them money and they could pick out their own Christmas present, and Everly got me this necklace that says princess. She said, because I'm princess mom. So isn't that the cutest thing ever? And then Everett got me this little heart coaster that says like, mom makes it a home or something. It was like the cutest thing ever. And they were so proud of it. So proud of it. Okay, the thumbnail, the pictures on the thumbnail, and I don't know, I just feel weird because then I feel like my outfit has to match the thumbnail, and then I don't think that far ahead, and it just like and I don't know if it makes a difference. Does it make a difference to you guys if there's a picture? Because for me, I'm like, I don't care. Like, I already know like who the person is that I'm watching is gonna be, so I don't care if their face is on the thumbnail, but I don't know. Now we change and we film another intro. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. See how I made that work? Oh, I did a black tank top so I could just easily transition. This looks more like Valentine's Day, right? Show you guys the bump. This is what? This will be 19 weeks. So we got a full on baby. I've started to feel him or her move and kick, and it's so cool, especially because like with the first like 2, it was a lot later in the pregnancy, but like, man, this baby is active, especially when I lay down at night. It's so awesome. So you better work. You guys know I always have a runny nose, just one nostril. I haven't even made these DIYs yet. Don't even know what they're gonna be. You know what I've been, wait, never mind. Bye. I changed my shirt. Definitely a Valentine's Day shirt, but nobody really has to know. Maybe I should go back so you could actually see it. This is like I Love Christmas shirt. It's not from Valentine's Day. So that was the first, or now, okay. Oh gosh. Like, does it get old hearing the same like intro over and over and over again? Like, should I be changing it up? What do you say? I don't know. Okay. Yes, yes, girl. Look, you just filmed 2 intros in one day. Like, Mama's having a good day. Now you actually have to work and like get DIYs done. So let's see you do that, and then let's give ourselves a pat on the back, right? Okay, sounds good. All right, bye you guys. Had to start this over. The lighting. Woo! Look like I got into like 10 bottles of sunless suntan lotion. What is that stuff called? Sunless tanner. That's how I look. Dang nose every time. And then you try not to ruin your makeup. What I was gonna say was, that's how I look before I start my photo shoots. Because it's freezing in this basement. My dungeon. I call my craft room my dungeon because I have 2 windows that lead to metal, and then one that the previous owners put like a cloudy, frosty thing on, so you can't even see outside. This is my dungeon. Check out my shirt from Savers. What's up? Look at that. Hey, hey you. Yeah, maternity stuff is not cute. So I just shop in like a size up from what I would usually wear and make sure it's long enough since I'm a tall lady. Okay.